Yeah, so today we got something different. We got Chyna. We got Chyna.
Yeah.
So, for people who don't know, who are you?
My name is Chyna. I'm the man named Voice.
Mandem's voice, okay. So, tell me about yourself. Like, what was your upbringing like? Your family situation. What got you? What you do for a living?
Yeah.
And also, what got you into podcast? Like doing podcasts about the topic that you already do right now.
Okay, cool. So I'm from Cameroon originally. I was born in Cameroon, but I came in when I was very young. So I'm British, so don't. I got my
You got the
I got a red passport. You guys don't be trying to do no immigration on me. But yeah, my parents, my dad was a diplomat for the Cameroon embassy. He's got 2 PhDs, also a professor at UCL. My mother also got a PhD. She's a teacher. They've been married for over 40 years. My dad's also the chief in Cameroon. I grew up I've got 3 sisters and 1 brother, all older than me apart from one of them. They're all married with child. I'm the only one that's not married or with any kids. So I grew up in a traditional African upbringing. My dad was a provider, but also my mum was a very hardworking woman. They did a lot of sacrifices for us as I was the first generation here, which involved my dad having to be away from me most of my life with his job. And they shaped how I see what I'm supposed to do as a man, how I'm supposed to protect, and how I'm supposed to be there. How I got into podcasting is crazy. So I was working on, I had a really good opportunity. I come from a security background, so I got an opportunity to work on a film set. It was Ted Lasso season 3 with Jason Sudeikis. Have you heard of Ted Lasso?
Not really, but it rings a bell.
It's Apple TV. It's a football series based upon a football team in the UK.
Oh, I know. Richmond FC.
Richmond FC, the Greyhounds, yeah. So I worked on that for this season that's come out for the last year, and then I got the opportunity I got trained as an assistant director with the ADs, under the 3rd AD and the 1st and the 2nd as well. I got trained with the grips guys, the guys that moved the camera equipment. So I got trained with the lighting, sparks, camera crew. I got trained with a lot of people, so it gave me opportunity to see different parts of working on the film set, and I made some really good friends, actors, producers, the rest of it, script writers, and then that kind of inspired me, or kind of woke up something inside of me, creatively speaking. Then that came to an end, and I have a good friend called G-Shock Headley. He said to me, look, there's a podcast, I think that you'd be really good, you should go on it. And I'd never been on something like that before, and I was a little bit like, I don't know, but he was like, no, and he kind of really pushed me towards it, and he was like, the way you speak and how you speak, I think really good. So I went on it, and that was Just Pearly Things podcast. And I would definitely say I kind of blew up on there, and I had some viral clips, some with like 10 million views on them now. And then it just kept on asking me back. And when I would go back, people ask me, what's your YouTube? I was like, YouTube, I ain't got one. They're like, oh, you need to start a YouTube. And then, so I started a YouTube. They're like, oh, you need to start a podcast. So I was kind of like, if I get 1,000 subscribers, then I'll start a podcast. And then from that moment, then I started getting invited to a lot of other podcasts and had more viral content and people saying, I've seen you here and there. And then, once the 1,000 subscribers came through, the next day I shot my first podcast, The Man Named Voice. And me calling myself The Man Named Voice, people saying, oh yeah, you're the voice of the man name, yeah, you're speaking for the bro, so then it was just like, oh yeah, the man name's voice, but it wasn't something that I was trying to do. Like, you get a lot of people that are trying to be podcasters, and that's fine. But I wasn't trying to be a podcaster. I actually thought I was trying to do something else behind the scenes, and then it just happened to the point of where now I'm kind of doing this.
100%. I thought like I was going to put this last, but you know what? Because what do you think about the quality of podcasts we see out now these days? Because you see a lot of these podcasts just saying some crazy. Like, I'm not sure if you see this one. This guy was saying something about your man. I got 4 caps. Your man got 2 caps.
What do you mean?
You know caps for your teeth.
Yeah.
This guy was saying, I got 4 caps.
Yeah.
Your man has 2. What does that say?
No, I don't know. What does that say?
Bro, she's basically trying to say she got bread.
Yeah, okay, so
shout out that podcast though, I rate them. But just that concepts like that, for example.
So listen to this. I've seen some wild stuff said on podcasts. In actual fact, I see the wildest stuff said on podcasts. And so, okay, this is what I'll say. I believe everybody has a right to have a voice. Like, you see with me, they'll be like, oh, not another male podcast. Oh, the government put a microphone and equipment in the hood and now the man them can't just stop talking. Like, you hear all of that. Like, because what they aim to do is they aim to try to, they'll be like, oh, they need to start handing out licenses for podcasts. No, they don't. They don't need to start handing licenses for podcasts. You just don't need to tune in. Do you know how much stuff that's out there that you don't need to tune in on? But what's happening is these podcasts are coming onto their radar for any reason. So if you follow platforms that push out stuff, post up stuff that you consider not to be of any significant interest, then you need to ask yourself, why do I follow platforms that post stuff that I have no interest in?
Because one thing I did notice, there was a time when I used to be on TikTok a lot, and they used to push certain content, and I was hearing sometimes they push content that you might not fuck with, because they'll get you in the comment section, and you might argue with someone, and now that video is getting more viral. You know what I mean?
But then this is what it comes down to. But that's clickbait or looking for reaction, right? See, whenever you've seen any of my viral clips, I don't say things to provoke a reaction. I just say things how I think. And sometimes I'll be like, I can't even believe people are getting triggered by this. So when I say stuff like, oh, men don't want a woman with a high body count that's been run through, they'll be like, oh, start getting mad. And I'll be like, did you not have a father in your life? Like, no, seriously, do you not know that? I'm confused.
No, I hear it.
If this is the first time, and then why are you getting mad at me? Do you know why you're getting mad at me?
Because I think deep down, I feel like a lot of people know that you shouldn't be having a mad high body count.
No, because they got a high body count.
No, but deep down they know they should.
I know, but they got a high body count. There's a reason why certain girls don't get triggered. Why is it only... If a man says, I don't want a girl that have a high body count, then they start getting triggered. Why is that? They'll even say, oh, the body count issue. Why are you speaking about it? Hold on a second. Why not? You know what I mean? And back to the issue about the podcast. Listen, I believe everyone should have a voice and let the people decide. Do you understand? Like, this comes down to everything. Like, even when we speak about Donald Trump and people like that, people aim to silence him. I'll be like, why would you do that? What happens is when you have, and I'm not even calling him extreme, but when you have a voice where people don't, where it garners a lot of support and people don't like, what happens is you get a counter reaction of that. You get an opposite force. So you get another voice that's going to come speaking up against that. What you don't do is you don't silence people's voices. So men are speaking up now, and men have been told not to speak up. Like, men have been made to feel like they can't have a voice for so long, especially now with the war on masculinity, and even speaking out, they want to say, oh, it's not misogynistic to have a criticism of women. It's not like, look at my t-shirt I'm wearing now. What does it say? Look.
Okay. Every woman has the power to transform her world.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it's about. Because I'm a supporter of women. I love women. Like, I have 3 sisters. I have my mother. I have loads of nieces. Like, ask any woman that I've ever dealt with. Ask any woman that's my friend. I'm a love and protector of my woman. But that does not mean I cannot be critical of you. And, that's the same as all the problems that we have with the youth currently going on now. Imagine me saying to a woman, oh, you can't speak on the youth or the youth stabbings or the gang culture because you're not a man. What? Or because, no.
It affects everyone.
It affects everybody. And a lot of the issues, don't speak on black women's hair. What? Hold on a second. Did I not come from a black woman? Do I not have black sisters? Do I not have black nieces that I do? And God willing, I'll have a black daughter. So how can you tell a black man that he cannot speak on, or that's like saying to a black woman, you cannot speak on black men. Do you understand?
100%, yeah. 100%. So with you talking about the stuff that you talk about, does that kind of like affect your career? Like, yeah.
We'll put it like this. You don't understand what you sacrifice until you go on camera. And you sacrifice a lot. And, like I said before, whenever I ask you, oh, what's your job or what do you do? I just say I do what it takes. I don't have a job. I just do what it takes.
Same that.
And the reason why I say that is because I do multiple things. And I'm just starting to understand myself a lot better. I'm a creative person, right? And look, this is my drink, ice slushy. Look, these are frozen slush drinks.
100.
So look, yeah, so
You man, hit that up.
I know, hit that. Check out ice slushy on Instagram. Check us out. So they frozen slushies. You buy them frozen. You allow them to defrost. They go back to slush, and then you just open it like so, and just. It's banging. I'm really bad. I should have bought you one. I'm sorry, bro.
It's mine, bro. Don't worry.
I'm sorry, man. I'm a bad host. And I'm drinking. I should have actually let him do it. But it's. What can I say? A lot of people get pigeonholed and they get told, they get defined by their careers or their jobs, roles or whatever. But your job is not who you are. That's just something you do. For some people, yeah, career, like, but for a lot of people just, they switch off and they go home and they've got something else. Like, you'll have that person at work that two people go to work, they get paid the same amount of money. But one person goes home on the bus and the other person goes home in a brand new car. One person, goes home to sharing accommodation. One person lives by themselves. What's the difference?
I would say one's probably more stringent with money. You can look at it from different angles, though.
But how stringent can you be when you both get paid the same, but you have a different lifestyle? What it says is one person is doing something that the other person is not doing, because you're both getting
one
paid.
One person's sacrificing more.
Yeah. So one person is going home or probably watching EastEnders or Netflix, yeah, watching their favorite series, as a lot of people do. Another person is at home selling stuff online. Another person at home studying something. They're doing something to bring more to their days. Another person is their DJ. Another person's got an event business, a bounty castle business. Another person is doing tutoring. Another like a lot of people go to work and it defines them. So when you are more than work and more than something else, they can't understand it. And what happens is a lot of people have given up on their dreams. Like, it's
Facts.
you have to look at things like, look, man, I sell slush in a bottle, like in a cold country. It's like in the winter, and but that's how crazy you have to be. You have to have a tenacious attitude and stuff. You have to be like, no, and that's how you have to be, especially when you're speaking on platforms. And you have to also understand that this comes with a lot. So if you have a job where where Karen from HR is going to call you in on a Monday after you've been speaking about why single mothers can't, why men don't want to be stepdads, and she's got 2 kids, and she's in HR, yeah, you might have a problem on Monday. You might do, and they might not say to you.
It's because of that, but they'll find little small reasons, you know what I mean?
Or they won't even say to you that you have to stop the podcast. They're not going to say to you, oh, you shouldn't. But they may say to you, oh, somewhere in your contract it says some things about da-da-da, and then before you know, you're out the door. So, but I've never been confined to the realms of
You're not in the Matrix.
No, I'm really not. And it's just that bit what people want. If you want 100% security and you want to go through the system, there's things you aren't able to do. And if you do them, someone's going to come and tap you on the shoulder and say, if you carry on doing this, you can't do that. And then you're going to have to make a decision. You might have family members,
that's true.
friends, ex-colleagues. You think, man, I had ex-colleagues that are like, that I was really, that I worked with in the film and TV, and then I've left that and I've gone and done this. And then they're like, oh, your views, I've seen so much, like, da-da-da. I'm like, what? And what happened is, because I'm learning this, right, I learned how to try to articulate myself as best as possible when I explain something. And a lot of the times with the reels, what happens is people just see the reels and they clips. Like, a lot of them can clickbait the titles, whatever. But if you haven't watched the long form content, then we can't really have this conversation. So what you're supposed to go and do is watch the long form content. But a lot of people just look at the reels, and because we have a short attention span now.
100%. So what's your current dating status right now?
I'm single.
Okay. What type of single? Single, or like single but a little something there?
No, 100% single.
Okay. So, why is that so? Because I can imagine there might be some people here watching, might be, oh, why is this guy talking about women right and he's single and whatnot? You know what I mean?
Well, I'm recently. I would just say I started this podcast. I wasn't single when I started podcasting.
Okay.
I am now.
Oh, tech, bro, it hard.
Told you, it costs you a lot.
It does, bro.
You know what I mean?
So,
Because people are going to be like, wait, I remember. What happened to your sweet one? Yeah, I don't really. He turned sour. Yeah, it's a bit of a mad one still.
but what? So that what stopped you from? I'm not sure how long ago it was, but what stopped you from getting a new one?
Because I don't need a woman. Like, I don't need to have a girlfriend. Like, I wasn't. So, we don't need to have women as our woman to have sex and have access to their body. So why would I have a girlfriend? Because
Facts.
women have been empowered to the point of where they can do that and it doesn't mean anything. And I was talking about it. I was like, you can't put as they say, put the pussy on a pedestal.
Facts.
Because by doing that, like, if a woman, you would think if a woman has sex with you or lays down with you, you would think that would lead to some type of relationship. You would think that if a woman gives you her body, that should lead to a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship, right? No, it doesn't. It just means that she wants sex. And because women control access to sex and men control to relationships, like, you only ever sleep with a woman because she allows it to. And that's it. And every time she says yes, a man will be willing to take it. So it's like, that's kind of how it is. So for me right now, I'm not focused on women because I'm focused on all the other stuff I do. I have to, come on, man, like,
Get the money up and that.
well, it's like,
100.
there's a lot of things. No, but here's the thing. I would happily build with a woman. That's what, whenever I'm dating a woman, that's what I want. But I don't want to, like, I just don't believe, I used to believe that a woman's supposed to build with you and ride with you. That's how I grew up. I know some people that their women did that, but it's not really happening. That's not really what's going on now. Younger generation and even older generation, right? Yeah. So I think the best thing for a man to do is to focus and to go and get everything that you need to go and get, and the right woman will come at the right time. She wasn't the right woman for me, but there wasn't no cheating, there wasn't no animosity. I have no anger. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, no, I'm cool because. I'm too busy, and I'm not trying to go and replace her with some other girl just to try to fill a void. No, like, that's not really. But then, I have experience in relationships, and I can tell you one thing: I'm not a baby daddy, so that's very good.
Thank God for that, man.
Well, thank God. You know, I just got to thank myself because I'm not loose. I'm not reckless. I have sexual discipline.
No, but because it is sometimes.
Go on.
Because.
Tell me.
Because I know people who've, like, maybe they're with their girl or maybe they're not trying to fuck with her no more, whatever reason, innit? And then all of a sudden, she's pregnant, you know what I mean? And now they're kind of trapped in.
Yeah, but bro, a girl can't get pregnant like you didn't have unprotected sex and ejaculate inside of her.
No, true, but like...
Go on, let me hear the excuse.
No, because... Sometimes shit happens, man.
Shit doesn't happen, bro. Irresponsibility, behaviour leads to shit happening. And the reason why I have to call it out is because I hold women up to account. So you feel I'm not going to hold the man them. If you have a kid by some woman, you don't get to be like, oh yeah, like, you've gone and given that woman your child and now you have to deal with this woman for the rest of your life. Or not deal with her, and it's up to you. But if you don't want to, you have to treat, okay, every woman you have sex with, you need to treat it as, every time you have sex, oh, she can get pregnant. Every woman that you sleep with, you should consider that, do I want this woman to be my baby mother? You need to look at her and for a long and think, because the act of that intercourse brings life.
Facts.
And then, if you don't want that, then you shouldn't do that. And if you bring it about, then what? Who do you get to blame?
True discipline, man.
But and it's one of the hardest things you have to.
It's facts.
Bro, it's like, and especially when you're doing well for yourself. Like, how do most of the people how do most of the people get caught out? How do the most men get caught out by one of the biggest downfalls of men is having to pay child support for 18 years, 16, 18, like, and depending on how much you earn, that's a lot of money And if you don't earn that much money, it's still a lot of money. It's all relative, right? No rich man wants to have to pay no woman 100 bags a year for 18 years or $500,000 a year. And no poor guy wants to be paying no woman 4 bills a month. Like, whatever. It's the same thing. No poor guy, no average guy wants to be paying it's the same thing. Don't even pay no £100 a month. It's like, just to be paying outside. And then you might have your own new family and stuff, and now you're having to finance something. So I just think a lot of times men want to make allowances and excuses for their reckless behavior. But you have to understand something. If you don't exercise sexual discipline and then you have unprotected sex with a woman and she gets pregnant, has your baby, you gave her the power. Women don't have the power up until the point you give them that. And then once you give her your seed, now she has all the power.
Facts.
You have to strap it up, bro.
So what do you think about the modern dating scene right now?
Oh, man, it's a mess.
It's a sticky one still.
It's not even sticky, bruv. It's
crazy.
It's just crazy. It's just stuck. It's not sticky. It's stuck. The modern dating scene is stuck.
Do you think it can get back? Do you think it could ever be better than it is now?
How is it going to get better? Whenever we try to speak about making it better, someone's trying to shut us down and say, oh, not another podcast. Why are men speaking of women's business? Like, this is why I say women don't care about your mental health. They only care about your mental health on social media.
Facts.
Because when we start to speak, all of a sudden they want to come at us. So you don't really care about our mental health.
Especially, like, one thing I've always realised is, like, when it comes with women, if you say something, it's either who hurt you or are you gay? Those are the two main bits.
Yeah. But here's the thing. When I say who hurt you, a woman, obviously, like they say it like it's a bad thing. How could I be here speaking from a point of experience if I haven't been hurt? Like, the only difference is now I don't get hurt. Like, I don't get hurt. If I break up, well, I haven't, the moment, like, I don't even want to speak about it because I don't want to, you know what I mean, put a woman into light that doesn't need to. But the moment that something is done, you don't hear from me. I'm not one of these men that I don't look at your social media. I don't message you. Because I can control my emotions. Because love is a state of a mind. Love is an emotion. That's why people love people before and they don't love them now. That's why someone can have a baby with someone and be like, that's just my baby father, or that's just my baby mother, and it's like, it's nothing. Be like, how can it be nothing when you have gone and given? But this is the world we live in. When you don't love someone anymore, so I don't know, you've been in a relationship. Think about a girl that you was really madly cared about when you was younger. Do you care about her now?
Younger or recent?
No, back in the day, like.
No.
So any girl you've dated back, and do you think about them now? Do you watch what they're doing?
Not really.
Why not?
Because I don't really care.
But there was a time you did though, right? Why was that?
Because I felt away.
But why did you feel away?
Because I had enough of them still.
Yeah, exactly. It's an emotion. Once you take that emotion out, it's like you don't even. And sometimes, in order to be a man, you need to be able to do that. It's one of the hardest things. One of the hardest things to do is not to do anything at all. Do you know what that is? Do you know how hard that is? One of the hardest things a man can do is not do anything at all.
Especially since I feel like a lot of guys that we like to fix things.
Of course we do.
You know what I mean?
Men are problem solvers. We think. Women feel. You know what I mean? And they live in that world. But we try to fix something. So you would automatically, like back in the day, if you split up with your girl, man, you would send her flowers. You would, you know, pull up to a workplace. Call her friend's phone. Like, man will even be writing songs, doing all types of stuff now. Try that now. They'll say, "Oh, he's stalking me." You'll be in the group chat getting
end up on Twitter.
Bro, you end up on Shade Bar, what are you talking about? They'll be like, oh, and then you'll be sending bare messages. They'll be like, oh my God, he's so toxic. Oh, you need to leave him. No, but before you were supposed to fight for your woman. But now it's like, bro, you need to leave that because you would break up with a girl because you have to understand something. I'm talking about, you're asking me, am I dealing with am I looking for anything else? And I'm telling you that I'm doing other stuff. But that's not what women do. Now, one of the unfortunate things that men have to understand, that it is so much easier for your ex to go out there and to meet new men than it is for you to go meet women. And it's so much easier for your ex to go out and have sex than it is for you, yeah? It's so much easier. She wants to go out today, that's it, she's gonna go out today. And whoever she picks it's not gonna be the same for you. You're gonna have to put in some work, it's gonna have to cost you something, yeah? 100%. So, if a woman wants to feel better, all she has to do is go on social media and there'll be lots of men beta males and those orbiters that are there that will make it from an inner friendship circle, let alone the work circle, let alone when they go out to go and give her this attention and to make her feel whatever.
You know what? But when I think of that type of shit, for me, in my personal opinion, if I was to be with a girl and we ended it off and she done whatever, she wants to be a hoe and whatnot, for me, it's like, you know what? You're trying to replace it. You're trying to fill a void. So for me, the only person you're upsetting is your father, in my opinion. Still.
Yeah.
Would you for yourself, would you become a passport bro? And what do you think is the best way to go about it? Is it better to move abroad, or do you think you could still bring a woman over to the UK?
You could bring her over to the UK.
Because there's techies still,
But until she thinks you're balling, until she goes to West End and she sees them bottles popping, sparklers come out, Superman music coming out. So she goes sees the McLarens and the Lambos. You was doing good when you was over there, because took him, the conversion rate, the money you felt like he was balling. You bring her over here now, and she just realised So I had a conversation yesterday. I know someone that spent 20 bags importing his missus.
fucking hell.
Yeah, because don't think it don't cost money. There's lots of paperwork that has to be done. Like, there's a lot of stuff has to be done. You spent 20, like, you can't just bring someone over.
No, but it depends what country though.
Yeah, if you're talking about EU, wait, I don't Brexit, I don't even know.
No, but certain EU countries you can.
Yeah, but you man are not trying to go EU. These men are talking about Dominica and So if you're talking about, depends where you want to go. But why would you go and try to bring a woman from Czechoslovakia? Why would you do that? So I'm saying, that's not passport, bro.
No, cheat.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you're not gonna go Iceland, bro? You're gonna go Rio de Janeiro, bro. You're gonna go Goa. You're gonna go Philippines. You're gonna go Eritrea. So I'm saying to you, come on, bro. You're gonna go Uganda. You're gonna go Zimbabwe. You're gonna go Cameroon.
Come on. But so would you do that?
Yeah, I would, but see, yeah, I would. Like, I would. Okay. Is your wife from London? Is she from like my ex wasn't from London, she was from Brum. So it's like I'm doing a crepe. It doesn't end well. So it didn't end well either. Getting his Brum lighties. Oh, what do we do? Brum got hella lighties there though, man. They bad as well.
Bro, I ain't been Brum.
Ain't you been Brum?
I ain't been Brum.
Bro, you need to go Brum. You need to go there, man.
I feel like I'm gonna enjoy that.
Bro, you're gonna enjoy it. Don't end up getting a Brum baby mama though. Go enjoy it, but don't, cause man them go outside and have a good time and then bro, next minute he's got a Brum baby mama or Newcastle baby mama or Liverpool baby mama. It's like they go out. Yeah, cause you go out, you enjoy too much, and then before you know it, anyway, go on.
But back to the passport bro thing. Like, would you do that?
Yeah.
And do you think it's worthwhile for men to think about it?
Yeah, of course it is. Man, listen, is your wife in the ends? It's only in the ends because you live in the ends. If you go and do a job that takes you overseas, you're gonna meet women overseas, you're gonna meet beautiful, you're gonna meet women that you have things in common with overseas. But what I will say to you is, man, it was hard enough for me and she just lived down the, you know what I mean? In another city in the UK. Like, it becomes a different issue. And every time people tell me, oh, I'm dating a guy from overseas, America, I always know how it's going to end, and it always ends the same. Because I'm like, well, men, why are you going to be dealing with a woman from America when you got women over here? And I just said to the girl, look, if you're dealing with a man, you have to just be aware that when he's in America, he's doing his thing. Like, you have to be aware of that and be okay with that.
So what happens if she says, I want to do my thing?
Then I'm saying, so why would you even date him then? Then just meet. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you?
No, because I remember speaking to a girl in it that was about a week ago.
Yeah.
And I was trying to tell her that, men cheating is wrong.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
when a man cheats, the relationship can always be fixed. It's way more likely you're more likely to fix the relationship if a man cheats. If a woman cheats 9 times out of 10, forget about it.
Yeah.
She just
Why is that?
About it. Because if a woman was to cheat, that means one, she's looking at think of it from an evolutionary standpoint. Back in the caveman days, if a woman was to get caught cheating,
Yeah.
then at the very least she's getting ostracized out of the community.
Yeah.
And it could lead to, and she can either get beaten or even killed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So subconsciously, that's kind of in the back of the head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for her to do that, to take that risk subconsciously, she basically believes that my man will give better kids than you.
Yeah.
That's what she's saying. You know what I mean? Subconsciously. So it's a mad. You gotta think of it like that sometimes.
No, I subscribe to the same thing. Like what I'll say is, all cheating is bad. All cheating is bad.
It's wrong.
And I'll get into that. But yeah, see, but I have to explain to women the difference between when a man steps out versus a woman steps out. But all cheating is bad. So let's just
100%.
because if I don't say that, people are gonna be like, oh, you're saying men can cheat. Well, I can't. Do you know what it is? I have to say it again. All cheating is bad because once again, people are gonna. And the reason why I do this is because I've done this enough times where I'm trying to get the message out as clear and concise as possible, and we keep getting detractors and people trying to take us on a different path because they keep trying to misconstrue, act like the message is not a clear and concise one. It is. You know what I'm trying to say to you?
100%.
So that's why we said, so all cheating is bad. But with saying that, there's a difference between when a man steps out versus when a woman cheats, yeah? Let me explain the difference. So sex is invasive, yeah? And men and women are different. A lot of the times, not all of the times, but for most women, in order for a woman to have sex with you, there has to be some type of connection. She has to like you. You know what I'm trying to say to you? She has to be attracted to you, yeah? And a lot of the times as well, a woman won't just randomly have sex with a guy. Now, the types of women that can do that and just sleep with any man and they don't have any connection to you, we call these women on demon time. There's a small proportion of women that can do that. We know the types of women that can do that. But most women, as a rule, even if you say to them, oh, you're just linking them, you start beating, at some point, they're going to catch feelings. Why do you call it catching feelings? And then they start asking for more, right? Why is that? Because, you know what I mean? They always do that thing where they're like, and then they start, you know what I mean? Okay, cool. So, and a lot of times when a woman sleeps with a man, she has to prepare herself. But just know that when a woman's about to let you access her body, just know she is shaved, she's prepared herself, she's done everything, yeah? She's done all her little exercises, all of that, right? And the reason why I'm letting you know that is because that's premeditated. Versus a man going out and a woman just beat on him and say, yo, I want to, and the man just beat. See, man will do that, and you know post-nut clarity.
I regret it. You know
Post-nut clarity, for people that don't know what post-nut clarity, that's just basically saying after you ejaculate, after the action of sex, that, it, you know, like you've done the deed and now it's like, oh, what have I done? Like, I didn't even need this, yeah? And that's why people say, oh, before you go and message that girl, I'm not even an advocate for masturbation, but in this time I'll say, listen, before you need to just double check. Do you miss that girl or are you just horny?
That's big facts.
And the reason why I say that is because that will stop you doing some dumbass shit. Some roasting shit. Like, some real beta male. That will make you act like, you know what I mean? And I remember Wolf of Wall Street. Remember you Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah, I've watched that.
See when my man was just bashing it off, just when it was like, oh yeah, I do. And I'm not trying to say that, but the only reason why I was saying it is because if you're gonna be that on edge, I saw what the mentality, what they was trying to put behind it. It's like, we're this highly strung that we have. I'm like, nah, B, you can't be going out with your gun fully loaded, bro. And then let me know if that's what you really want to do.
100. So what do you think about this?
Go on, you.
Do you think high value men should be able to cheat?
What I'm gonna say to a woman is, if you're with a man from nothing and you build up with him, I believe he should give you loyalty.
Facts. I literally subscribe to the exact same thing.
I believe he should give you loyalty. Yeah, I do believe he should give you loyalty, especially if you helped him build it. And if he doesn't, and you choose to leave him, then you know I believe you should be able to. But then, what are you leaving him for? To go to where? So there's some ways you can step out. And stepping out is like this. How did you find out he cheated? So if a man steps out and, you know, he doesn't, there's some rules. Some people have some, probably the rules. And these are some of the basic rules of stepping out. If a man steps out, he steps out with other married people or women in relationships who got something to lose. See, when you step out with someone that is single, and then they're just your side girl. You know what I mean. You're doing all those things for her. At some point, she's gonna start wanting the main girl's position. Yeah. No matter what they say, at some point she's gonna start looking, and that's when she can start coming to try to mess up your home. But when she's got a husband or a guy already and a family, she's not looking. She just wants an escape from her life, right? Yeah. So she's not trying to mess up your stuff. She just wants. She get me what you got in your pants, and that's it. And she's gonna go back to her husband. She's not trying to. No, she wants her kids in her life. That's one of the rules. Another rules is there's no kids. Now, you can't be going outside and sleeping and having a whole separate family. You're doing too much. You know what I'm saying? You're actually you're put the family at jeopardy because now you've gone and created a whole separate family that has to be provided for, that has access to our stuff as well. That's very disrespectful. You don't do that. You don't bring any diseases back. How are you gonna bring any diseases back to your wife? Like, you shouldn't even be like in the first place, but now you're bringing back diseases to your wife. Okay, no public embarrassment. Now, a lot of women can get over stuff if it's held in-house. The moment her brethren find out, yeah, that's it. So a lot of times, if your girl finds out she's cheating, if she wants to stay in a relationship, she's not gonna tell her brethren, because they're gonna tell her to leave you instantaneously. Them hating us brethren, they love that.
Facts.
Yeah? So I'm saying to you. So that's what it is. And like I said before, when a man steps out, you know, because men will bust a nut and go back to their missus and buy her a handbag. So I'm saying to you, and they'll go right back, and they will not want to, you know, anything to do with that woman. But the chances are, if a woman cheats on you, she's gonna leave you. She's not doing that. And then if she does come back to you,
it's because she couldn't secure my man.
Exactly. Let me tell you something. The moment you break up with a girl, I give you 5 days, and that's even long. Like, get me? I say 5 days, and then you need to treat her as she slept with someone else. And then if she comes back, you have to accept in your mind that she slept with. Doesn't mean she has, but you have to understand something. She's a woman.
There's at least the possibility someone was talking to her. At least, bro.
Listen.
At least.
If they're talking, they sleeping together, and women gonna watch it like, no, women gonna cap, bro. You're gonna cap, of course you are, because women. That's why they always lie about their body count. Why? If body count didn't matter, why do they lie?
That's true.
If it does not matter, why do they lie? And I don't make it a big thing. I just like to say to people, if people need to be honest, yeah. Now, you need to make me feel like Kanye. I've said it. How Kanye felt before he feels like now. But originally how Kanye felt with Kim, because when Kanye married Kim, he knew exactly what he was getting. Sex tape and all. Do you understand? 3 failed marriages before. Was it 2? And he was a 3rd. You know, yeah, 2 failed marriages before. Sex tape with he knew what he was getting, right? So then, when you go and do that action, who you want to complain to later on? He knew, and he married her in full faith, knowing everything. Now, no one can come up to Kanye West and embarrass him about Kim. They've tried. Do you get me? It's impossible. How can you? Because everyone knows her story, right? But what they want to do with these girls is they want to make you believe their story, yeah? And it's a fake story, and you believe in that story, and you fall in love with that story. Then one day you're out, and someone comes, and you're out, and someone just taps you on the shoulder, and just actually shows you the real book. There's a few pages that have been ripped out. And when they show you those pages, you know what you do? But it burns. Those pages actually makes you just want to burn the whole book. And I'm using this analogy because people, it's like, they don't want to listen to have to listen to the analogy, right? Like, that's how men feel. That's how we feel. So let me feel like Kanye and let me marry you knowing all warts and all. Then no one can come, then it's me and you, babe. Like, listen, if you're not a virgin, why are you lying? You might as well just be honest because you can still win. Because what am I going to say? Oh, the chances are the man's still going to want you, but now he knows everything. No one else can come and walk into that room and embarrass him. How am I supposed to marry a woman and I don't know everything? You're about to have my kids and there's going to be men that know things about you that I don't know. Do you know how brazen that is?
100%, bro.
That's very disrespectful.
Wild.
And for me to ask that, that doesn't make me a narcissist. That doesn't make me a controller, misogynist. No, it just makes me if you're going to do an investment and listen, picking the woman is going to be your
biggest investment.
Bro, getting that wrong can ruin your whole life. Divorce and breakup is one of the biggest suicide rates. The suicide rates for men are way higher than women.
You get married in this day and age?
Yeah, so I was trying to basically explain to you that I want, when I started this Red Pill, they don't, in the manosphere, they're really against marriage because it doesn't favour men and it's really just a contract with the government, right?
Facts.
And like I was trying to tell you before, like statistically, men, statistically, when they come out of marriages, really only tend to benefit women, yeah? And I told you before, child support and the courts tend to favour women with the kids and all of that types of stuff, right? And it doesn't really favour men. So most men and women break up their relationship 70 to 80% of the time, and divorces are initiated 70 to 80% of the time by women. Now they're gonna say, oh, but abuse, bruv, mate. Because it's the same hymn sheet that they sing from, because I hear it all the time. Okay, so let's remove the women that divorce because of domestic of DV, right? Let's remove that domestic violence and all these types of stuff. So those women they're exempt from this. So we don't pick them as that. When I speak about women overweight, yeah, they'll be like, I never speak about women that suffer from any type of health conditions. Why would I? They're not.
They can't control it.
Yeah, but what about the rest of you women? You're just lazy. That's it. The rest of them, they're lazy, yeah? So, but they'll always go to the extreme first. They always go to the extreme first. Same thing when they talk about abortion. They'll be like, oh, yeah, but what if someone is raped? Or, so I'm like, yeah, in that scenario, yes. But that's not what most of it is. Most of you women use abortion as a contraceptive. That's the truth of the matter.
Facts.
And that's the problem. Do you understand? Not the problem of women being assaulted and having babies by men. No, if in those circumstances, well, no, but not the one that we're currently seeing, where women are using, abortion as a contraceptive.
But yeah, would you ever get married though?
We're saying that, yeah, of course I would. I come from it.
Legally?
Huh?
Would you ever get legally married? Like, sign
so
with the government and that.
This is what I was just trying to just say to this, right? Of course I believe in marriage because I come from the product of marriage. Like, my parents are married for over 40 years. I have three siblings. I have my three sisters and brother all married with child. Currently married, right? Why would I not believe in marriage? It's what I've grown up in. But I don't believe in you marrying a woman because you love her. Love is not enough. Like, that's not the reason why you marry her. No, the reason why you need to marry a woman is because you are spiritually aligned. And spiritually aligned means that, like I said, that she's your rib, she's your rock, she's your other half. She can't envision doing this without you. That's how you guys, and a woman like that is who you marry, because now you'll come together spiritually. Yeah? If you just love her, if you're just attracted to her, you will divorce. Because that's not something because love and attraction needs to keep getting worked on, yeah? And it takes two people. There's no, see, the reason why you think about your tightest boy or your good relationships with your friends, the reason why they are, because not one of you guys will allow that to ever get to a point where you don't fix it. See, and that takes two people. That takes two people that want to fight. Yeah, it's too easy to walk away. We live in a throwaway. Listen, there used to be 4 seasons of the year. Now there's 52 weeks. So 4 seasons of the year when it came to fashion. Summer, summer, spring, winter, fall, yeah? Now there's 52 weeks of, every single week there's a new fashion week. Do you know why? Because of disposable culture. All these fast fashion, cheap clothing, right, yeah? Throw away. That's why, and this is the culture we have. So where we used to fix things before, now we don't fix it, we throw it away. We have too much attention, whether or not it's social media, dating apps, so people feel like there's always an option.
Facts, just spitting.
So you can't. If that's the case, then bro, you might as well just be. And I don't advocate for having baby mothers and like I believe that creates a different problem. But what do I say to a man? Never have a child or get married. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Or so if you only have a child in wedlock, or if there's no woman to get married to, never have a child. What do I tell a man? Do you get me? Because I don't believe in having out of wedlock babies and bringing up those types of families. But at the same time, they can still produce good outcomes. Statistically, they don't do the best. But what I'm going to tell a person, and this is where we find ourselves. So I'll tell them spiritually aligned. If it's on a religious base, like that's why I said I prescribe more to that. You know, you could, you know, like a lot of people in the Muslim religion, they don't have to sign paperwork. They can go to the and do it that way. Yeah, and do it that way. There's other religions that do it that way.
No, I think in Christianity you can do that too.
These girls want it. These girls want to have that. But I want to talk about something today. Mary J. Blige. There's a video of her talking about why you need to sign a prenup. Because if you're not aware, Mary J. Blige had to pay in a divorce settlement. She had to pay her ex-husband alimony. Like, yeah.
City boys up.
Yeah, city boys. Shout out to Hakimi, man. My guy Hakimi. You know Hakimi?
Hakimi.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my boy.
That's my guy.
That's my boy.
That's my guy, Hakimi. City boy. Bro, like. So Mary J. Blige, she was saying, oh, you know, she was like, you know, when I got divorced from my ex-husband that cheated on me and did this, whatever, I never imagined that I was going to have to go and pay him, to the family, whatever. And she's like, this is why, you know, she's like, men shouldn't be, you know, getting child support and money from women. But I'm like, Mary, you are just experiencing what 99% of the men experience every single day. And you can't handle it. So now you're like, oh, go sign a prenup. I see Nicki Minaj saying the same thing. The reason why Rihanna will never marry A$AP Rocky, because he's a beta male. Yeah. Because the reason why she'll never marry him, because she's masculine. And Rihanna's very masculine. No, like when you not how she looks.
No, you know what? But she does compete in the business world, innit? She has to have that edge, I guess, innit?
What? So what? Beyonce doesn't compete in the business? Beyonce doesn't?
No, but I'll say Rihanna's probably a better businesswoman than
what? So
Beyonce.
What? Why? Because she has Fenty. That makes Beyonce.
Ain't Rihanna like a billionaire?
Yeah, but what does having £1 billion as a woman mean? What does that mean? That means what? You can't submit to your man because you're a billionaire.
No, but I'm just giving reasons as to why.
No, but I'm saying, this is what women do all the time. But why has her been Richie Sunak's wife's a billionaire? Am I lying?
No.
Is she not just there behind Richie, just doing whatever? See, when black women, and I'll do this, when black women are successful and they stand next to, they feel like they have to be at the front to show. No, you don't come at the front. You stand by your man behind him. Yeah? Yeah? That's what, when you go look at presidents.
Barack Obama.
Forget about before Barack. Yeah? What first ladies are you seeing trying to take the spotlight?
None.
But what happened with Michelle Obama?
Bare attention.
Bro, she was literally a president too, right? And that's not what you're not supposed to do. Why are you trying to share this? Why are you trying to share the spotlight with, like, go look, Trump, Clinton, none of them, nah. So did you see that picture of, was it, what magazine was it?
I know what you're talking about. I already know.
Yeah. GQ magazine, whatever it was, Cosmopolitan, one of the magazines anyway. And the A$AP and her were on the front cover, and they're pregnant, and she's leading A$AP. That's a complete, like, just that picture in itself, it says a lot, and it encapsulates a lot. Now, that's why she's not gonna marry him, because she doesn't need to. Rihanna and Rihanna's no different than any other. She's just another baby mama. She's just a billionaire baby mama. What difference is she? What difference? She could have got married. Why not?
But so, do you think that Rihanna could one day leave him, or would we leave him one day?
You say?
Do you think Rihanna could leave it?
Of course, you just told me before. Of course, you can leave him.
No, but do you think she will? Do you think she will?
Yeah,
Oh, fucking hell.
yeah. At some point. At some point, she will.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I
We're
don't.
gonna play a flashback.
I hope she don't. Like, because why would I want
A family unit
yeah,
to
to broken up. But the moment where she's having babies, multiple babies, and not choosing to marry him, that would be more for the culture.
Do you subscribe to Red Pill ideology?
How do you mean?
So, like, do you believe in the teachings of Red Pill?
You have to be more specific, man, because Red Pill is
It's
like,
complex. Okay.
yeah.
So, for example, one common theme I do hear is like, obviously, I think this is true. Women are hypergamous.
Yes. Hypergamy. Yes, women will wake up one day and say, and just be like, I feel different. I want to leave. I spoke to had a discussion today. Shout out to what is it? YKKKE. Is it Little Woman Eats? Little Woman Eats on Instagram. Because we had a conversation. She always gives me good not good advice, oh, mate. Good interaction, mate. She gives. I take her advice. She just plays the devil's advocate quite a lot, and like I was saying to her, it was wait, what was I saying?
About women being hypergamous.
Yeah. So I was saying to her that it was only today, and she's like, "Oh well, women don't just wake up one day. She would have gone. She would have been checked out a long time ago, and obviously you didn't see the signals." And I'm like, "So you're blaming a man for a woman not
vocalizing?"
Yeah. And I was like, "Women can just wake up and leave." She's like, "No, there has to be." I'm like, and then she's like, "Oh, but if the man didn't recognize it," I'm like, "Why is the man at fault for a woman waking up one day and not being honest and not being the truth?" So I was just trying to explain that women are hypergamous. Like, you could do everything right, and and you still end. And when that happens, you need to just let her go, because you have to understand something. When you haven't cheated on a woman, you haven't done anything other than try to love that woman, and she's still not happy, she doesn't want you, yeah. And she's telling you that, and no matter what she says to you, you don't have to take this personally. This is just what you have to understand, right? When a woman breaks up with you or says she doesn't want to be with you,
she thinks she can do better.
of course she can, because what she's saying to herself is she telling you that she's about to go join a nunnery or convent and become a nun and do Sister Act 4? No, she's not. So this is what I say to you. You have to treat it as she wants to go and get her back blown out. Because at some point, listen to me, at some point she's going to go and get her back blown out. It might not be tonight, it might not be, but at some point she will. Eventually, right? Now, you take yourself to the first time you slept with your ex-girl. How long did it take you? And how did it happen? I'm not saying you have to be. No, I'm just saying don't have to hot her up. But I'm saying, think about that, and then that's what's gonna happen for the next guy. And the chances are, when a woman breaks up with you, the next guy's gonna get some mad type of crazy sex just because it's been cooped up and she just want to be out there. She want to bust it open. You know what I mean? So you have to treat it. This is what I said. 5 days is all she got. Women, don't be breaking up your man for more than 5 days and think, because after 5 days, just know he's treating it as you had your back blown up. That's it.
No, spitting.
So when it comes down to Red Pill, like I don't prescribe to Red Pill, but I speak Red Pill content, because there's parts of it I don't, because I believe in marriage, and a lot of Red Pill guys don't want marriage. But then at the same time, I understand that why men don't believe in marriage in the Red Pill community, because I've listened to the horror stories and I've spoken to men, and that's why I said to you, you need to be spiritually aligned, and if possibly you can do it in in a religious way, ceremony or something, whatever. She can still change her name to your last name. You know what I'm trying to say to you? You can still, she can still have access to the money and all the rest of the stuff. It's none of that. It's just, why are we doing stuff with the government when we can do stuff in our own way? Yeah, so
100%. So, in terms of are you religious?
Yeah.
Are you like you're Christian?
Yeah.
Practicing?
Practice enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I practice enough. Yeah. Probably put on practice enough. Most people think I'm Muslim because a lot of people think I'm Muslim, but no.
So because I thought, one thing I've looked at it, I thought that the Muslim community do a lot right. I think these type of issues, they don't have it as much
No, they don't.
as everyone else does.
No, of course they don't, because it's one thing about Christianity, it allows for too much, you know, because how I was taught in school, it's not what it is now, but the Quran doesn't change. Like, they don't, you know what I mean? And that's really what it is. And, you know, yeah, and that's really what it is. And if I want to follow religion, I want it to be
To a T.
to a T. Because why am I going to follow something that has, you know, all different variations and all different this, whatever, and one priest is saying this, another priest is saying that, and like, I just want all the priests to say one thing. And I'm not saying in Islam,
It's
the same. No, of course not. Because, you know, you have the Sunnis and Shiites, and you have other stuff as well. But ultimately, on the fundamentals, they all, you know what I mean? They all agree. And I like, and that's, you know what I mean? So, and that's probably a little bit where I find it a bit hard. But I speak to God, you know, I pray. I was praying last night. I'm grateful for a lot of the stuff that, you know, opportunities I have. And yeah, man, just, I think I can't mess with I couldn't date a woman that didn't believe in anything. You have to believe in something.
100%.
Like, because not believing in anything and just kind of...
That means you're open to whatever messaging.
Basically, when you don't believe in nothing, this world is just whatever. And that's really how a lot of people live their lives that don't believe anything. They don't believe in anything. So they don't have any moral compass. And I'm not saying that, but a lot of the stuff that your moral compass is because, you know, religion.
I remember, this was maybe 1-2 months ago. I was walking past Camden.
Yeah.
And there was a church. And when I was walking, it was like 8-9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And I see the LGBT flag.
Yeah.
And I can see the trans flag.
Yeah.
In the church.
I don't know what the trans flag is. What is that?
Trans.
I don't know what it is.
Oh, transsexual.
No, I know what that is, but I don't know what the flag is.
Yeah.
Thought it's all rainbows, isn't it? Bro, I don't know. I don't know what the flag is. I probably walked past it. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, but I saw that in the church. I was
In
thinking,
the church, yeah.
I was thinking, like, is this how?
It's open. No, because it's inclusive church. You can go there.
No, but I'm not saying that those people shouldn't go to church. Of course, if they want to go to church, let them go to church.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be brandishing those flags in the church,
So,
in my opinion.
One of the reasons why men don't go to the church anymore is because, first of all, the damn pastors in there pushing the Bentleys and the Range Rovers and that. You know what I mean? Prosperity preachers. This is where we are. But one of the reasons is the church doesn't shame anymore. We need to bring back shame. We need to bring it back. And you can see what happens when people start not having shame anymore. You see what's going on, even with the music and with the culture and how people are. Like, there's no more shame anymore. And, you know, like, yeah, bro, we need to... bringing back shame will fix a lot of things, you know?
Even into the culture, man. 100%. Because you know what? I was seeing one thing today. Ellie Brooke?
Don't play with it, don't play... No, that's Lola, but...
No, Ellie Brooke, she's like an OnlyFans girl. She's done that pornos and... But she's known on...
Is that the one I was going to interview about how cute is?
Yeah, on Piers Morgan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so obviously a lot of people were saying she's quite shameless, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she was saying how, like, yeah, Piers must ask her about, how would you feel if your kids found out about it eventually? And she said, at least they'll be crying in a Ferrari, kind of shit.
Yeah, until they want to take their life because they're being bullied. See, and this is what people think. Like, you think that kid's gonna have to... Do you know what that... Listen, that kid is going to get roasted, yeah, in the changing rooms. And, like, people think because you're rich, your kids are not going to go through the same... Being rich doesn't stop your kids from getting bullied. Are you nuts? You get bullied by rich kids, like, whose parents are rich too, and whose parents are famous too, and says, oh, my dad used to blow out your mum's back. Bruv, that's what it is. Uncle, this is what Kanye's kids have to go through now as they grow up. You see it, the kids are seeing it. Yes, this is what it has to go through. Then he's going to get into these teens, and guess what? Ray J's kids are going to be around trolling you. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Your kid. This is why celebrities' kids are so messed up, because you think money doesn't fix it when they always have money. Look at these rich kids program. These kids always want to be famous. See these really rich kids? They're rich, and you see them, they want to be famous. You're like, why you want to be famous for? You really got money. Like, it's because they're trying to, like, they've had money their whole life. It doesn't mean anything. When you've been rich your whole life, it's not being called rich, it's being called normal. It's just normal. They want different things. Like and it only looks like something to us because you haven't had it. Do you understand?
100%.
But when someone's rich in their whole life, man, nah, they ain't nothing to them. But they can't get fame. Fame is something that
You need to earn.
you need to earn, like, you need to do something to get it. But rich, your parents can give you money, but that doesn't guarantee you, success. And when I talk about shame, is the church isn't shame. So baby mamas, like before, so that's why you're gonna have all the baby mamas in the church, all of them, yeah, multiple kids in there, because the pastor isn't telling them what you should tell them before. Oh nah, because if he does,
So what should the pastor say
do
to
you mean?
baby mums? What should they say?
They should be preaching that people shouldn't be out there having unprotected sex and out of wedlock sex. They should be getting married, and yes, they should be preaching that what they used to preach. Pastors should be bringing groups together, like singles groups together with other like-minded single men and single women, so they can date. Because there's no point in having church women with no church men. There's no point in having church men with no because you put them out in the world, they're gonna meet the normal people. You need to, and this is what's not happening. And if you're not telling women about their lifestyles because you want them to come to your church, because women don't want to be getting told that, oh, be getting judged, but you're not being judged. This is what
Real life.
This is real life. But you're not gonna say that, so you're gonna let all the women come in there and just keep giving you the money and praying that their man is gonna like you.
Because I feel like that's what Islam, like on your prior point about getting people together.
Yeah.
Who are like-minded. I feel like that's what Islam does very well.
Yeah.
Very well.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like.
And especially in sorry to be
That's
cutting
cool,
you off,
cool.
but like especially in this day and age where everything's so hyper-sexualized, I think it makes a lot of sense to try to get people who are religious set up when they're younger.
Listen, yeah, and this is the thing. One of the reasons why Islam actually encourages like men to obviously marry before the sex active, because the chances are you got urges as a man, and the best way to have that is to be married. You know what I'm trying to say to you? So if you marry earlier, you can have your wife and have those urges and do whatever. I do believe in that. I don't believe you have to go out there and sleep with the world to find, like, first of all, that's not going to make you more happiness, because comparison is the thief of joy. So when women talk about, oh, the dick weren't good and he couldn't do this, and oh yeah, he couldn't eat me that, and I'm like, how would you know if the dick wasn't big? How would you know? If you like, how could you how you could only compare it if you've had multiple dicks. Because if you only had one, if you was a virgin, you wouldn't know. How would you know? You wouldn't know. You'd just be happy with the guy that you had. But because you want to believe that you're missing out something, what does sleeping with 10, 15, 20 men do before you meet your husband? Doesn't do anything other than make it harder for the man to make you happy. Because now you're gonna, if he isn't doing certain things, it's because you're comparing him to other guys. But what good is it comparing to other guys that you're not currently with? It was just sexual. So you allowed men to use your body. Now you have the ghost of those men where you're comparing his performance. So even, do you understand what I'm trying to say to you?
No, I feel you 100%.
You're not with these men. You probably don't like these men. Do you get me? But one thing you did like about these men was where they, you know what I mean? To the point of where you could say this guy's not good in bed. How can he not be good in bed? Who are you comparing him to? See what I'm saying?
100%.
And this is why, they say after three bodies, it becomes very hard for them to pair bond, and their chances are happy, successful relationship go down exponentially, and it's true, and it's true, and it really is.
So obviously I've watched some of your videos. You're saying you can't fuck with a thing with a high body count. So what's the limit?
No, I can fuck with a thing with high body count. I just want wife one. I don't know, bro. Why would I? You guys are jokers. This is why someone, bro. Why would I, bro? Like, bro.
So no, okay, sorry. Okay.
Listen. Men don't. Let me tell you something. Whenever I speak about body count, you know what women say to me? They say, "Oh, men don't care about body count." I'm like, don't they? I'm like, why'd you say that? They'll be like, none of my exes ever asked me about my body count.
The exes.
I'll be like, oh, where are they now?
Facts.
Why would I ask you about your body count if I have no intention for your future? Why would I care? I would never ask you. Why would I care? It could be on whatever. I have no desires of having a long-term relationship with you. All I'm going to do is run it up and give it to the next guy. It's your husband that's going to have to deal with that and care. It's not going to... So when they say men don't ask me, no man has ever asked me about my body. No man has ever. Now, basically, you talk about multiple men. Where are these multiple men? So why would they ask you?
So you know what? So but what's the highest body count for a girl you could wife? Like, what?
One, that ain't me.
One?
Yeah.
Bro, that's actually quite... That's
No,
quite tough, bro.
I'm joking.
Right.
Now, listen to this, innit? All I'll say, for me, one's high. Because that's one too many. You wanted the truth.
But you've probably done your fair bit before.
Yeah, but men and women aren't the same.
True.
Okay, let me pose a different question. So, when we speak, men wanted a virgin wife. Men will happily a virgin wife. The mans that say, "Oh, I want to go that was," they're always capping for the other women. So don't listen to them, innit? Yeah. Most men would want to be their wife's first experience, right? Yeah. Preferably than have her slept with 5 or 10 other men before he has her and then wants to marry her. Imagine marrying a woman that slept with 25 men or 30 men. Why would you marry her for? 25 men, bro, seen your woman naked, 30 men, like, okay, let me do another one. Bro, line 30 man in a line. I want you to line 30 man in a line, bro. If I do that, it's gonna come, do you know, it's gonna go down around the corner, yeah? Now put your wife at the end of that. Okay? That sounds extreme to you. Okay, let me take it down. Let me do 10 man.
No, I understand, bro.
Yeah, but let me do 10 man, and 30 is not extreme. I'm just trying to say, let me do 10 man, a smaller number, and line them up. Yeah? They're gonna come out of this room now. Yeah? And your wife's gonna be sat in there where you are. That's how many man of whatever. Now, it might. That's an image. That's like lining up to go and see. Bro, like I went to go see D Block and Jada. That's like lining up to go see D. There's bare man in the queue. Like, bro, she's lying. She's had that many man inside of her. Now that's cool if that's cool to you, but you have to understand that's what it looks like. Think about a queue for your favorite artist. Yeah, whatever body. That's how the queue looks like. So I'm saying to you, and you know, do you want that?
What? So you can't wife a girl with a body count higher than one?
No, I wasn't. I'm just.
No, but okay, but what's the limit? What's the limit?
Bro,
10.
Fam, yeah, 10's high. That's fucking brazy.
5.
Bro, 5, one hand, bro. It's just bro. Yeah, women, keep your body count low, man. And everyone's gonna be like, oh, they're gonna lie. I said, and this is what I'm saying. And if you lie, that lets me know.
No, but how will you never know? You'll never know.
You never know. But when a man asks you the question, this is your opportunity to do a Kim Kardashian and tell the truth and make me feel like Kanye. Or you could lie and have your whole relationship built on a lie. And let me tell you something. It could be 5 years. Then just let someone come and tell me that I'll break that whole house of cards down. Do you get me?
What happens if you have kids? And
so same thing. Your mom's a liar. Because, bro, and this
because what happens if you get to a point where there's so much to lose and you
bro,
actually,
listen to this.
And this person's actually filled in the role that you wanted them to.
Then I'm cheating on her. Stepping out, whatever you want to call it. Because you lied to me. This is why, and if you don't like this, don't lie. If you don't like what I'm saying, just tell the truth.
But you never would have wifed her if she told the truth.
How do you know I wouldn't have? You're taking away my right to make a choice. And this is the problem. Don't let me feel like Kanye, let me make this choice. But you don't, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to manipulate me. And this is manipulation at its finest. You're trying to manipulate me to go into a scenario or situation that I would not potentially do if I had all the information. So you're doing this for yourself. It's selfish. It's not about me. And this is what I'm trying to say to you. It's very manipulating. This is what women do. If you really care about this guy, tell him the truth and let him make the decision. And then she's going to lie to you then when it comes to, oh my God, I didn't. Let me tell you a story.
Right.
When I was younger, like back in the day, I remember some girl, and I met her through one of my brethren, innit? And when I was chatting to one of my brethren, when he told me, like one of my guys used to link it, yeah? This one was young. But he's told me this from the day dot. So once he's told me this, I already know what so now man's checking the girl now. It's all cool, innit? And I can't remember, there's another story like this as well, but this is one of the early ones, I tell you. And I just remember how we got a conversation, and then whenever a girl has linked one of your guys or banged one of your guys, and you're always around that guy, they tend to try to say things or try to make you feel like they'll try to act like they don't like this guy, like he's not a good guy or whatever, this, that, whatever. But these times, I already know that he was banging you, bro. So I already knew this, innit? So, but she would try to say stuff, and I can't remember what actually made it to come. And I was just like, one day I was just like, look, man, I know you banged my man, innit? Bro, I swear to God, the way she was lying, yeah, and I could tell you another scenario, but this one here was the way she was lying. I was like, listen to that. Then I was just like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna get my man on the phone right now. She went quiet. Then she's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna tell you the truth, innit? And she's like, oh, I did, but she's and then I said to her, I've known from the moment I met you, I knew you did. From the first time I met you that night, I knew you did. And I said to her, but she's like, oh, so why didn't you say? I said, why? I said, it wasn't for me to, like, that was for you to whatever, like, be honest. Like, I didn't care, but I knew. So when I've now asked you something, now's your opportunity, but you want to make me feel like a dick. And now you treat me like a dickhead. You are. You treat me like I'm stupid. Do you understand? And guess what happened after? I found it was cool. It didn't turn into nothing because it wasn't. This is what I'm trying to say. Why would I care? I'm not wifing you. I'm not giving you my kids. You're going to give me access to your body and that's about it. I'm going to go out. We're going to go our separate ways, yeah? But this is what I'm trying to say. Like, men don't care about things like that. I don't... Baby mamas, they'll be like, I'm like, as long as she knows I don't want to be a stepdad, it's cool. They'll be like, oh, but why would you date her? I'm like, does everyone you slept with, do you want to marry them? We just spoke about this earlier on before, that if a woman gives you access to her body, it doesn't mean a goddamn thing other than that she's giving you access to her body. So why, if I date a single mother, if I did, why does that mean I want to be the kid's father? No, I don't. I just want access to you. It does not equate to every single... Because that means everyone that a girl slept with she should marry, right? No, it doesn't mean that way. It just means that we're just doing our thing. You know what I mean? So, yeah, single mothers can get that work too. There's some bad ones still. But
What, so you would never wife a single mum?
no, 100% no. Yeah. Did you hear what I said? I called Rihanna Billionaire. I wouldn't even wife Rihanna. Who would want to bring up ASAP's damn beta male ass kids, man? He paints his nails. Why would I want to be a stepdad to those kids? What? Think about it. ASAP's kids.
No, but then you can grab bread though more time.
But once, okay.
We're trying to make it out, bro. I'm trying to make it out the hood, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, but then that's what would be the case. Everyone would know it's just about money. Do you understand? But remember when I said we don't care about the woman's money? Even when she's a billionaire, like if I get there, then you know that it's only because she's a billionaire. It's not because she's got two kids. What difference is she from any other woman with two kids? She got more money, okay, cool. But she's still got two kids that I have no interest in. They're ASAP Rocky's kids. Why would I care about these kids? They're gonna be painting their nails and stuff. Like, what's the problem? You know what I mean? Come on, these ain't gonna be my kids. My kids are gonna eat raw fufu and that. They're gonna be like
that way, bro.
Yeah, like, and it's different. That's what I was trying to say. But mom, these baby mamas are bad, but of course they're easy too. Like, I don't. What? It's the truth.
No, this is gonna go.
No, it's the truth. They don't like it when I say it because it's like. There's ice on you bags. Let me see my ice on you. Because it's like, if you're single, yeah, 100% go for single moms. Easiest way, easy access, quick. So let me tell you about single moms, right? So 5 days of the week, single mom. I'm not even calling baby mamas right now because they get so triggered. Let me call them single moms for the moment. They'll still get triggered, but we'll call you single moms for the moment till I feel like calling you baby mamas. There's a difference. Okay, wait. Before the next part, there's a difference between single mothers and baby mamas. Yeah. So. Let me explain. There's a difference between single mothers and baby mamas. I've broken this down before, but let me break it down right, yeah? So a single mother, if you've been married, if you've been divorced, so you've been married, divorced, you've been widowed, right, yeah? That makes you into a single mother, yeah? Yeah? So a baby mama is someone that has a baby from a situationship, a long-term boyfriend, a link, whatever, anything that's out of wedlock, yeah? You could still be in a long-term relationship with someone, but that makes you a baby mama. That's why I called Rihanna a billionaire baby mama. That sounds cool. A billionaire baby mama. Yeah.
What's the run with it, man?
Yeah. So yeah, billionaire baby mama. Because essentially, that's what she is. There's no difference. You know what I mean? So ask a woman that's been married and divorced. Now, men, we look at baby mamas and single mothers slightly different. They're not the same. Yes, on the face of it, it might look like the same, but no, when we look behind it, let's look a little bit deeper. One woman had a ring bought for her. A lot of the times when a man buy a ring, it's a big proportion of their income or whatever it is, but it's never cheap. So a man spent £1,000 on a ring, right? That involved thinking about it, long term thinking about that. No man just meets a woman and just buys a ring. The types of people that do that are celebrities because they got more money and they do things a lot faster than we do. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? We can't just afford. Celebrities meet someone, they get married, they get divorced. It doesn't matter because their money comes. But tends to be normal people, they think about it. So he's bought a ring. Then he has to get down on one knee and a lot of times when people propose to someone, it's a public declaration. You don't do it behind closed doors, do you? So man's gonna take you Paris, do whatever restaurant. He's gonna make settings to go and do that. Now there's a wedding that's gonna be planned. There's gonna be finance. There's gonna be a lot of stuff. Then on top of that, you're gonna go out to the world and you're gonna say to all these women that I'm out the game. This is a woman I've gone and chosen, right? Yeah. There's this. What you're saying to everyone is there's value in this woman. All the other girls that you just done your thing with, they're gonna look at this and be like, "Rah, man's gonna." That's a lot of stuff to do when you could just get the you anyway, right? Yeah, cool. Then you get divorced from that woman, yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so that's one. Then you have the other one that has a baby, that's situationship, long term, whatever. Then she breaks up for my man. Then I meet her, right? She's a baby mama now. When I come out there, one person, a man saw enough value to spend racks on a ring, announce to everybody, put on a wedding, do all these things, and then you get divorced. There's something in you, yeah? Now I need to find out why you got divorced, yeah? It could be some, like what we speak about, it could be some other stuff, right? But the other person is just another, any girl that you meet from the street, oh yeah, it was my boy, my ex, I had a kid for him. And I was like, so what, that was it? Requirement. All he required was just to be with a man and it's a separate type of thing. So if you're a woman that has gone and been married and has bought a ring and like, do you think you're going to consider yourself the same type of woman as a woman that's went and had it? Do you think those women think they're the same as them other women?
No, you're spitting.
Because something has to differentiate you and the other. You know what I'm trying to say to you?
100%.
Like just like the men that go out and become very productive and go and become something and do something. Do you think they think they're the same as the man that just on the block corner doing nothing? No, they're like, no, we've gonna have to become something. So I just think there is a separate, and people get too caught up on, oh, baby mama, I'm not a baby mama, oh, I'm a single mother. No, like, okay, let's take out the word. You're still both raising your child at every statistical disadvantage in a one-parent home. And the stats are there. Your child is more likely to end up with mental health issues, commit suicide, end up pregnant, end up going to jail, die. You know, like it's the list are there. Like, you know what I'm trying to say to you, bad grades. Like it's all of that there, and we live in a world where society we want to almost elevate single mothers to God queen like status, right? But then when we look at the stats for single mothers and when we look at what's going on now, yeah. Who is raising these boys? Who is raising them? Then they'll say, oh, you know, the father's not in it. Why is the father not an issue? Oh, you know, the dad was a waste man or whatever they want to say. But I'll be like, but you picked him. Why did you pick a waste man to give the highest honor to and have his child? Then on top of that, you meet a girl, you ask her about a baby father, and she's cussing out a baby father. You're thinking, hold on a second. So then why would I want to come and be a stepdad to these kids? This inferior, think about what I'm thinking. Why would I raise another man's inferior DNA? They don't like it, but it don't. But why would you?
That sounds wild still.
But you're speaking bad about your baby father. And I'm here and I'm thinking, these are his kids. I don't want to look after these kids. See what I'm saying? Like, and this is partly one of the things. Women seem to think, oh, if you love me, you'll love my child. No, I won't. I want to have sex with you. That's it. Like, I don't have sex with you. No, definitely want your child. But this is what they do. They bring in men from outside of their home. Yeah? You bring in men from outside of your home, yeah? And then you want them to automatically treat your child like it's theirs. It's not their child, right? Yeah? This is what most of the abuse and essay that happens in the homes comes from the men that women bring outside into their own homes. Yeah? These men that you want to be father figures to your child. No, they're not they are not biologically linked to them. And if you've got a younger daughter or whatever in the home and she's, men are more likely to look at the younger woman. Don't bring these men into your home. They're not. These are not their kids. Like, women endanger their homes by when they bring random.
But don't you think single mothers have the right to that one day want to move on and to actually become and to actually start a new family?
Of course you can. Everyone can move on, but why are you moving on? Why didn't you make a better decision in the first place?
No, but mistakes happen sometimes.
We spoke about it earlier on.
But you can't. Sometimes you made your mistake.
How many mistakes you gonna make? So what happens when you have two baby daddies, and you both, and now you're like, what I'm trying to say to you is, is yes, mistakes happen, but how many times a mistake once, but I haven't made a mistake. You haven't made a mistake yet. If you make that mistake, you ain't got no kids, have you?
No.
Okay,
no
cool.
kids, no
Just
kids.
double check. I don't know, man. But you can go make a mistake, and that's up to you. But that's because you chose to go and, not exercise sexual discipline. And because of that, now you've gone and created this in your life. What do you want me to do? Feel sorry for you? Make excuses for you? I don't make it. Do you know what I'm saying? I hold women to account, but I hold man to account. That's your baby. Like, you should. That's it. Like, and because I don't do it, how am I gonna another man be like, oh, man, nah, bro, like.
Because cool, the mistake's been done.
Yeah.
The mistake's been done.
Okay.
So should single parents just be by themselves then?
I believe that single parents, that I hate when I go outside like the festival and I'm just bare baby mamas out there. Damn, they're always outside and I'm like, and they're always single. I'm like, I feel sorry for the kids. I'm like, damn,
Like grandma's house again.
bro. Like, let me tell you what happens, innit? 5 days of the week, these women look after their kids. 5 days of the week. Some of them work, work and look after the kids. Some of them just at home look after the kids, right? It's stressful. Then they have to. They've got their child. They have to wake up early and then go to work and then then come pick up the child from nursery. Do all these types of things as a single mom. When Friday comes, the child's either gone to the baby. Some of them are also arguing with the baby fathers as well during the week, right? Yeah. When the weekend comes, Friday comes, he's either gone to the baby father's, gone to the grandparents' house. What they're doing on the weekend, they got 2 days, a day and a half even. Yeah. She's gonna be outside. Yeah, she's going to be outside. She's going to be out drinking. She's out been getting lit, taking drugs. And what does she want to do, bro? She wants to get her back blown out, bro. Like, so I'm saying to you. And women they're going to look at this and be like, no, that's not what we want. They're capping. They're capping because that's what they do. Do you understand? Like, I'm not making stuff up. Like, women, this is what they do, and they go on the weekend, and they've been empowered because women have been empowered, and feminism allowed women to sleep with and do whatever and not feel shame for it. They just don't want to admit it. That's it. Like, every time you meet a woman, when's the last time I had sex? And oh, come on. It's like the number one thing. And she might be, or when you ask a woman how many people, you've been with, she's like, I've only had 4 relationships. She's talking about the 4 boyfriends. She don't talk about all the guys in between that was blowing her back out and changing. She don't talk about in lockdown, all the guys she had pull up in the crib in lockdown. Come on, she's talking like she was social distancing. Blood, she was social dicking, blood. That's what she was doing. Don't piss me off, bro.
So what? Could you marry a woman who's being divorced then? Could you have that?
So what I said was, what, she got kids or no kids?
One kid.
But one kid's too. I said one kid like I would do 2. One kid's too many. To me, one kid's like 3 or 5 anyway. Bro, like is okay. So, okay, I spoke about this before on a platform. I'll say it again. So yeah, I could potentially, but there's in a very extreme, not extreme. Well, you can consider it extreme circumstance if you want to, but in this circumstance, I consider it. I would, if the father was deceased dead. So if I met a woman and she recently had a child and the dad was, he wasn't alive anymore, and the child was young enough where I could, raise the child and be the father, or the dad was in a type of jail that man would never, like the type of jail that there's no access, it's just like...
No, but then again, I don't think I can date a girl because I feel like you've made a fuck up choice more times.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to, the jail one, but I'm trying to give you a scenario where it's going to be like...
Let's say the kid's free, and in the first year of his life, the father died. How about that?
Ooh, it's a bit. Look, she has to be an amazing woman. And when I say amazing woman, she has to be the most beautiful woman. She has to be the most, like, she just has to be the most traditional, most wifey woman because she comes with a kid now. Now, when you come with a child, you have to be everything that a single girl, a single childless woman is not, and is plus way more. Like, because why am I gonna trade off not having a woman with no child versus a woman with a child already? Why am I gonna, and I don't have any child, right? Why would I trade that for that? There has to be something that's gonna make me do that. You know what I'm trying to say to you? There has to be something. Why would I trade that for that? They have to be giving me something where I'm gonna, gonna go and do that. So I think one of the things that women don't understand is that when you come out here with a child, a lot of times they try to act like they were when they were outside without kids. Like, you have to understand the price has gone down. Like, and you can't be expecting the same price you had when you had, zero, only a few miles on the clock. Now you're coming through, with more owners. So I'm saying the mileage is a lot higher. So I'm saying some of the, the body work might need a little, you know what I mean? And women hate when we use car analogies for them. They hate it. But us as men, we need to use analogies that we understand. They just don't want to look at themselves as a commodity or something. But here's what it is.
100%. So, what? Say if there's any young men who might have watched this whole thing. They might be like, cool. We know what to avoid.
Yeah.
We know the ground rules and whatnot. But how can we go out and find good women, actual wifeable women? Because it's hard out here, man. It's hard.
First of all, you shouldn't be looking for women. You should be on your purpose.
Okay.
Yeah. You should be working. I believe every man should be working 60 hours paid work week. I think you should be putting 60 hours of paid work into something. You should be getting paid 60 hours. And then, the reason why I say it is because what's the average hours a week? Was it 40 hours?
40 hours a week.
40 hours. Yeah. So if you do 60 hours, you're 20 hours above average. If you do 40, you just do what everyone else is doing. Do the extra bit, you're doing a bit more, and you don't have to get paid a lot of money if you work that many hours, life will get all right at some point. Do you get me? You work your way through. And when you work on your purpose, you'll meet women. You know what I'm trying to say to you? And you meet the types of women that you're supposed to. When you think about women, young men should not be thinking about women. You should be thinking about, because you can compound. Life gets better for you as you get older for you. Like there's something that they don't tell you. They want to make you feel like as you get into your 30s and whatever you get older. Man, shit like it's lit. Don't listen to what they tell you. Women, like us men, we pick who we is. Women only get triggered at us. Women in their 30s get triggered because we don't pick them.
Because I always hear a lot of people say that when older women, single older women don't give good advice to younger women.
Of course not.
Because younger women are competition.
Straight competition. They're competition with me, man. So why would I take, if I'm in my 30s and that, yeah, but my last girl, she's in her 20s, I get girls in their 20s all day that move to man all day. Like, it's not ideal for like relationship wise, you know what I mean? But bro, if I'm looking for a baddie wise, it's ideal. So I'm saying to you, but why would women, they'll be like, oh, you just want younger women because, they're easy to mold and you want to manipulate them and you don't want a strong woman. Yes. Apart from I don't want to manipulate them part. No, yes, they're easy to mold. Because guess what? I'm going to show what it is to a good man. Now, a lot of you women are damaged. You have trauma from all these sexual relationships, all this history, all these exes, all these guys that have done things to you. So when you come in there, you don't want to go to that, oh, I got trust issues, I don't trust men. That's because of the men you dealt with. Now, I've come into something and I'm dealing with all of this because of the bad choices you made in men, not because of me. Why don't you go pick a girl that hasn't gone and done that with that much trauma? And I don't give her no trauma and we go and get on. Makes better sense, right? 100%. But women feel as if you're still out in the festivals in your 30s, mid-30s or 40s, whatever, you're out with a new set of women, 20. So you have to understand something. Older men have always gone with younger women. It's a story as old as time, right? And no matter type of shaming you do, trying to make it won't play fair, because this is what a woman is typically supposed to get her life together, 18 to 28, even 28, that's late, but that's your 10-year period. 10-year period of your heart, like that's when You get that's when you're gonna get your proposals. That's when all the guys from school want to take you out from college, from uni. What you know what I'm trying to say to you? That's when you get free entry into events. That's when you have that's when you go on holidays, man. That is the point where you're supposed to use those years and secure your man. That's the point. Now, if you go past 28, they call it they call it, you know, the wall. Yeah. Once you become in there, you're not that fresh thing anymore. That's it. Now you're gonna compete with the younger versions, yeah? And if you're outside, every year you're outside, another set of girls come in that want access to the men. And a lot of times women, this is that thing they say, they don't look at the potential when you're young, when you don't have stuff, so they want to go for the older guys that have it, right, yeah? So you disregard a lot of the guys that, you know, potentially could be good, and you go and date these guys that give you trauma. So then by the time you realise in your 30s, now they start looking at the men they didn't look at. But now you come with kids and more baggage now, and a lot of times a bad attitude. Now, men, we don't want to deal with that. You know what I'm trying to say to you?
Right.
And then all that happens is, the older they get, they're going to turn into them aunties, but them aunties that just... Bitter. Completely and utter bitter. And you don't want to be one of those people where you just become bitter at the world because of your choices or your lack of, you know, and I try to teach women, because I don't like when I watch content when women are, who wants to see a woman, there's no lit 60-year-old women, you know. There are no lit 60-year-old women. People have to understand, lots of lit 60-year-old. Do you know how old Simon Cowell is? Come on, man, he's lit. Like, but look at his woman. So I'm saying to you, what's his name? Robert De Niro. Yeah, Robert De Niro.
Are you talking about DiCaprio?
No, Robert De Niro. Didn't he just have a baby?
Oh, ain't he like 81?
Yeah, 83, yeah. So he just had a baby with a 29-year-old woman.
Fair.
Now, Robert De Niro comes from this, how old's Madonna? Madonna's in the 60s, Cher's in the 70s, and Robert De Niro's 83. So Madonna's a good 20-something years younger than him. He won't pick Madonna. He won't pick Cher. You know why? Because he can't give him kids. What do you do to a man that has everything? What can you give him?
Kids.
That's the only thing he wants, right? Because at 83, he's going to be out of here soon, right? But guess what he's gone and done?
Create a legacy.
Legacy. And that child is going to grow up being... everyone's gonna let you know who your father was. Every single person gonna let you know. So what is he gonna done? He's gonna duplicate himself, and he's gonna give a woman, and a younger woman, he's giving her something. She's gonna bring up Robert De Niro's child, and that's what men want, and that's that bit which women hate. And that's that male advantage, that even at 80-something, a man can still go out there and shoot and have a child. They're going to say stuff like, oh, but after 30, sperm decreases and the rates of autism. They do this thing to try to make him feel better. The wall is undefeated. No woman can beat it. No woman has beat it yet, bro. No woman has... Janae Aiko, her dad, he just had a baby, the same thing. How old was her dad? Super old. Like, this is it's a story as old as time. An oldest time, men have been doing this. This is why it's important that women get their life together early. So
what happens if a woman wants to get a career and wants security? Because you know, there's a lot of girls who might say, "Oh, but I don't want to depend on a man." Or what happens if we break up? Or you know what I mean?
But you're going into a world. Whenever you go into something with fear and scarcity mindset, you're messed up. And this is what I'm trying to say to you. How are you going to go into something? But yes, all these things can happen. But that's not gonna happen when you love someone and you're what's the word?
Spiritually, man.
It's not gonna happen because what you're still thinking about dating and this thing of me, selfishness. You're not thinking about the greater good, your family, your legacy. You're not thinking about that. You're not. You're thinking about me, I. That's it. As long as you do that. That's when when you think about the family, the kids, about what you're gonna do to bring up and how they can benefit better than you did. You're not gonna think about breaking up. Doing this alone is one of the hardest things. Like, one of the reasons why single households are affected, because, okay, let's say you come from a single parent home, I come from a 2-parent home, right? Yeah. So already. What are the benefits? Okay, we got 2 incomes in my house now, yeah? So we got 2 incomes. Even if we was on 25 grand a year, yeah? Each, yeah? We'll still be putting in 50 grand a year into the house, yeah? you, as I said, that's me, my wife, your family, your mum, one person, right? Yeah. If she has to work or whatever, so already now she's got one person in it. So that's already now half the money. Yeah. Right. Cool. So she now has half.
I have to put this disclaimer.
Go
Apologies, but I don't come from a single parent
Okay.
household. So.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
But yeah.
No. Yeah. I didn't even know. Yeah. Cool. You don't. Okay. Cool. So you don't come from a single parent. Yeah. But So if you come from a, sorry, what was I saying? It's just.
So apology. It's half the money.
Yeah, it's half the money, right? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So now I need to get to school. There's two of us. I can drop the kid to school. It's only one of her. She has to go to work in the morning. When you're woken up, she's already out the home. If she has to go supply, now you have to catch the bus to school. Already we start different, right? Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say to you. There's two of us, so I can tutor. I can do extra. I can do tutor. Right? There's too many. I can pay for a tutor. You can't pay for a tutor. Already now, it's already affecting certain types of things, right? You know what I'm trying to say to you. The amount of time your mum spends with you versus the amount of time my parents spend with me, two complete separate different things. There's all types of things that are happening in the home that is already creating a gap between the two. And I'm just trying to say, like, a lot of people don't realize this stuff.
What qualities should someone look for
Okay.
in a wifeable woman?
First of all, make sure that you're attracted to her. So don't pick someone because go for who you want. Like, you know what I mean? And the reason why I say that is because you have to be attracted to your woman, right? So go for who you want. But it shouldn't only be about looks, but you have to be attracted to her. So don't just pick someone because, it just makes sense. But at the same time, you need to pick something that makes sense. There comes a point where you have to not necessarily go for what you like, but go for what makes sense. Do you understand? Because the reason I need to speak like this to men is because women do this all the time. They keep going repeatedly for the same guys, even though they know how it's going to end, but they like the look, they like the feel, they like the fit. That's how it is, right? Yeah, they keep going. But them, you've heard them, as we call them, the Chads and the Tyrones. They keep going, let's add Jerome in there too. Shout out to Jerome. Chads, Tyrones and Jeromes. But they'll go for these guys, even though you know how it's going to end. And when it ends that way, you expect people to feel sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for none of these girls. Like, I'll give you one. We're all allowed one. And hopefully that one doesn't give you a child. And after that one, you're supposed to learn from that mistake, yeah? But you're not supposed to go and pick another version of that guy, yeah? And repeat other versions of that guy.
Because obviously, that way, for example, was for me, you know what? Because I feel like in this generation especially, bro, that you're older than me, so, but I think especially for my age group, that's what, bro. One. You know how hard that is to find? One, bruv. Bro. and especially because, I feel like the only way you can somewhat avoid this is, I guess, no sex before marriage. But that's hard as it is, man.
What I'll say to men, like I've said, go for women that you're attracted to. She needs to have, you need to be aligned spiritually. She needs to believe in something, and it will help if she comes from a 2-parent home as well.
Definitely.
Like, stop trying to save these women from. I don't want to tell you that women can't.
But you know what? Because one thing I've noticed, because I think you can fuck with a thing from a 1-parent household.
Oh, I've tried.
Not like because, for example, like some girls are raised by their dad sometimes, not as often as by the mother.
I prefer a girl that's been raised by a dad. I dated a girl that was raised by a dad. It was very good, but she was quite masculine. But that's because of a dad. But a girl that's been raised by a dad is not gonna grow up in the streets. Like, women allow so much slack behavior because they're women, and they want to allow it. But a father, so children do better. Is that statistically they do better with the mother till about age 6, and after that, children do better with the father.
So cool. So when it comes to raising a daughter, like, how would you instill these types of things, especially since we're in like a Western society? people are obviously people are pushing hedonistic liberalism. That's what I like to call it now.
Hedonistic liberalism, I like that. Yeah.
And nowadays you got all these influencers, a lot of these people saying, yeah, you can do whatever you want, and you're free to do whatever. It don't matter, and yeah, that you know what I mean.
Yeah, like
How would you combat that?
I would be there. I've been an active father. How did my dad combat it? Obviously, it's not equally the same times, but his daughter still had to navigate through picking a good man, a man that wanted to marry them, didn't just want to blow out their backs. You know what I'm trying to say to you? Like, they had to navigate the same things that people have to do. So, but that comes because you have a strong father figure and he loves you. The first person that woman falls in love with is her father. And if he's not there, then the first person she might hate is her father too. Do you get me? So you want to be that guy where you install that thing where it's like, does she look as a man as a provider, as a man? Does she look to men as men that solve problems? But if that's because you as a provider, you as a man that solve problems. Do you understand? So when she wants to be around men, is she gonna go look for a dope boy or a little guy from the road? No, why would she do that? That's not what she. Do you know what I mean? So it involves you being present and you just showing them the right way. Like, you can only ever teach people the right way, and if they choose to go against the wrong way, you can't say you wasn't taught. But most people will go the right way. You'll get some people that will stray away from their thing, and then when the story happens, they're going to be the people, you know. Samuel Jackson's daughter. No, sorry, not Samuel Jackson. Sorry, Lawrence Fishburne. You heard about his daughter?
No.
He's got his daughter. She she basically she was an adult star. Yeah.
Wild.
And she's Lawrence Fishburne's daughter, Morpheus. She had everything. There wasn't nothing she couldn't have, But she decided to go. She's one of those wild young girls. Decided to go into the adult world, and it kind of messed up. And then recently, she ended up broke and trying to reach. And it's just like, your dad is Morpheus. Why the hell are you doing corn? And why the hell are you out there doing all these types of stuff? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's because it's just that thing again. And in the end, I want women to see that. I want women to see stuff like that, You just have to raise your child right. Sometimes they'll go against it.
But eventually, if they are raised right enough, they could come back in it.
Yeah, but it's just be an active father. Be an active father. Be there for your daughter. Be there for all the time. Don't let her feel as if she has to lie to you. Like, make her understand that she can come and speak to you about stuff. You know what I mean? Don't be pushing, teach her about no sex before marriage. Like, teach her that. And here's the thing, right?
But it's hard, man. It's hard.
I'll explain my daughter this, and I'll make it very simple. This is your body. You can do whatever you want with it. I'm going to teach you how to navigate and how to get the best results. And the best results is this. Your virginity, your chastity, that keeps you pure, that keeps you different from all the other women. The moment you give it up, yeah, you become the same like everybody else, and the price goes down. And every time you give it up, the price goes down and it goes down and it goes down. Now, when you have a daughter, that's a beautiful daughter that you raise her, you teach her actually what you want to do is, you want to place yourself around different environments. When you teach your daughter how to place herself, she's going to put herself in the right places where she's going to get picked. And if you teach her how to get along with men, how to be a strong woman, intelligent, how to be educated, how to be all these types of things, men, when she's around the right men, they will recognize her and they will wife her. They will pick her up in an instant because men know how to. Look at how much trash there is, literally. 10 men are going to go after the same girl. And she has to pick the best man. And she can when she keeps herself exclusive. But once she goes and does all that, she loses it. And it's up to her.
But then it comes back to this, because don't you think there's bare beta males here who are willing to wife a thing that's had a trade around and all this business?
Of course they will.
And there's rich beta males, like, for example, we've got Destiny, sound like Destiny, you know what I mean? That man there.
Yeah.
Like, there's enough man like that,
no,
bro.
and there is. And there is.
So what's the incentive for a woman to actually...
But they don't want their men, though. Go look at any I don't know if you follow any baddies or whatever.
Nah,
Yeah, I don't know who's on your story. Like, I don't know, but you can go find any women that are seen as desirable and go look at their comments. Non-stop men in the comments, simping for them. Pick one. I said that before. Your husband is in your friend zone in your DMs. Pick one. They won't do that, but us men will pick that. Let a man have bare gal up in his DMs, like, and he's gonna pick one. And a lot of times, that's all they got to do. But they don't want those men. They don't want the men that tell them, "Oh, you're the queen, the moon, and the stars." And they don't tell them this. They don't like. They want men like me that tell them I don't want baby mamas. They do. Because as much as they want to act like, oh, or incel, and, oh, you already told her you can't get... Listen, do you look at me and think I can't get girls? No, seriously, guys. No, man, like, because at least say something that's believable. Incel, do you know what incel means?
It means involuntary celibate.
Bro, but do you know what that means?
That means no bitches.
Bro!
No bitches.
It means involuntary.
You can't control it.
It means that no matter what you do, you can't get no women. Bro, you don't have to fight women off. And it's not because it's because even when you said it to me, you was like, oh, bro, what did you say when I come through the room? What did you say?
You can wham still.
Bro, that, you know how I said it? I was like, the last few podcasts I do, I was looking, but you don't look at me and say, this is a guy that can't get girls. I can walk into a room and I can tell a guy that gets girls. So how are you going to tell me that I'm only speaking like this because I don't get girls? The girls that are telling me that like me. No, but it's not coming from a big-headed place. It's what it's just trying to say is just that like it's not even believable, man. Like, and they will throw all of these words on it, but no, incel. Like, and I had to bring it up because when I first heard it, I was like, but they'll use anything to try to derail the message or try to make it act like, nah, man, come on, man. Like, we're not saying this stuff because we hate women or we can't get no girls. In actual fact, it's quite the opposite.